to my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds and sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey everybody, did I fool you? Did you think I wasn't here? Well, I am here. Good to see you this evening for live stream number 25. How awesome is that? And it is Monday, July 5th, and the year is 2021. So, welcome back everybody. I am really glad you're here. And every time this happens, 7 o'clock sneaks up on me. I was sitting here just fiddling around, getting some things ready, and I look up and the screen said 7 o'clock. So I was really surprised by that. In fact, I'm going to look away for a second. And that's all I needed to do. Excellent. Well, good to see everybody. Emery, thanks for chiming in at early afternoon when this announcement went out. Appreciate you being here. If you're here now, I don't know, you were here this afternoon to comment, and then don't know if you came back. And Kevin, good to see you. Yeah, the interview is going to be up in the trees, right? That'd be great. Ross, good to see you. And John Ritter, good to see you this evening. Watershed Outlook, Chris, good to see you. I love that we have so many regulars who show up. Yes, happy belated Independence Day for those of us celebrating here in the States. 25th live stream, and 25 is a pretty significant number in this house. You know why? Because my wife and I were married on the 4th of July in 1996, which was 25 years ago. Amazing, right? You want to see a picture? I'm not going to pull it up on the screen. I'm going to pull a John Ritter here and just show you from my phone because that's just easier. But here we are, 25 years ago. A friend of mine saw that picture and said, "When was Ann married to Dick Clark?" Well, anyway, there we are. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Oh, hello, Margaret. 25th anniversary, 25th live stream. You got it. That's right. David White, good to see you. Outdoors with Andy is here this evening. Dennis Gluck is here. And I'm glad you're here. Now, let me tell you something. I was chatting with Jack earlier, who's my guest this evening, and he was actually on a job site. We did a little live stream test, and everything seemed to work pretty well. Waiting for Jack right now. He's not quite backstage yet. I just shot him a text. So hopefully all is well with Jack, because I don't have a whole lot else prepared. Don't have any fun facts this evening. I wanted to just kind of jump right in and chat, and then we can be out of here by 8 o'clock. I appreciate you being here, because for those of you who are celebrating the 4th of July, today is, I think, the day where it's really celebrated. At least people who have jobs during the week, they're often given this day off because the 4th of July was yesterday, a Sunday. So today's kind of the holiday, like we had no mail delivery today. So I thought a lot of people would probably be barbecuing, whatnot. So anyway, I'm glad that you did make it tonight, and that is very fun. So keep in mind, I always ask you for the thumbs up, and that's always much appreciated. This, again, if you're interested, I don't like pushing these things, but if you're interested in any of the swag or merch that I have in my store, which is t-shirts, pretty cool mug. You can buy your own stickers if you can't win them, but stickers are available on the site as well. It's all done through Teespring, and if you want 10% off through Teespring, you enter the code HEATWAVE. That ends today. Our HEATWAVE actually ended a few days ago, but the special 10% off ends today. So if you're interested in anything, this will be a good time to do it, because it ends today. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. I've been kind of pumping up the Facebook posts a little bit more lately and showing some different things. And again, it's a neat way to chat with people. YouTube has that community tab, which is, I think they're trying to be like Facebook. And you can, I put a post out there often as well, and it gets a few likes. But Facebook really, is the king of, I think, interactive social media still at this point. YouTube is the king of video content. I for a while I was uploading videos directly to Facebook and not really getting a lot of interaction. So now I do share the videos on Facebook, but I just share the YouTube link. But they each have their purpose. And then Instagram is more artsy. So I don't post there as often, but I should, because I do like taking pictures and doing things like that. So anyway, you can find me on all those platforms. So Hoosier Helpers is also here tonight. K6 Outdoors. Very nice. Dennis Glocks, mid-90s, very humid in central Wisconsin. Yeah, yesterday was picture perfect. Beautiful day. And today it was about 88 degrees, I think, and pretty high humidity. So I was out doing some work, and I was sweating quite a bit. Okay, so Jack is coming, so we'll keep that in mind. So that's good to know. It's good to know. Did you guys, we'll talk about this when Jack comes on screen, but did you watch video number 60 with Jack and the guys cutting down that big silver maple? It was amazing to me. I mean, I looked at that and I was overwhelmed, thinking, how in the world would anybody even do that? And he made it look so easy. But I'll wait until he's here to give him all those great compliments. But anyway, let me know in the comments. Did you watch that video? It'll be helpful if you did. Although I'm going to try and show a few clips of that tonight as well. Oh, good point, John. Remind him to use Chrome, not Safari. I don't even know what kind of computer he has. He tested it from his phone on the job site, but he said tonight he was going to be using a laptop. So he's in the background, and we'll see how that works out. Jack is in the green room and should be able to hear me, although I can't hear him until he comes on. But Jack, I see you back there. Can you hear me? You have to give me a thumbs up because I can't hear you. But anyway, so yeah, we'll be bringing Jack on in just a moment. And get your questions ready for this highly skilled arborist. Again, if you saw the video, you'll see it was pretty amazing. And thank you, Dennis. You watched it along with the concrete work. And yeah, not to sell those guys short. I know we're talking to Jack tonight, but Jamie and his crew doing the concrete. And this was a small job. That tractor shed is only 15 by 25, 15 by 24. So in their world, a pretty small job. But in my world, that would have been an incredible amount of work. And they hand finished that. The finish is as nice as if somebody used one of those power trowels. So really impressive. And they sloped it out the one side just slightly. But, if I were to hose something down, the water runs off. Really nice. Yeah, David, no paw prints. I put the dogs away thinking, and I wasn't even so worried about paw prints, but I was worried about when it just sets up enough that you can scratch it and all those toenails from those dogs. So we put the dogs up until it was hard enough, and it worked out pretty well. So thank you for watching that. I appreciate it, and hopefully you enjoyed it. It was not I didn't expect it to be a highly viewed video because I've been doing some of these vlog type videos, and folks are more interested in specific, maybe tractor content or implement content, because I get it. That's more helpful. It's also searchable. Somebody might be searching for the Kubota B2601, or they might be searching for the tiller attachment. Nobody's searching for cutting down a tree and pouring concrete on the same day. That's not too many people are like, how do you pour concrete and cut a tree down on the same day? No, Chris, I have not attacked the pile yet. I walked past it today. I looked at it, if that helps. Actually was taking the old barn boards because I hadn't cleaned up yet. I still had a pile of old barn boards, so I loaded them on my utility trailer and brought them out to a burn pile, and just, which is near those limbs. I could burn the limbs. A lot of you might think, well, why don't you just light up the limbs and burn them off? I could do that. I've done that a lot in the past, but I like having the chips, and burning's not always the best thing to do. So, but we probably will burn some, because actually my chipper, if you remember, it's a WC68 Woodland Mills, and the 68 stands for 6x8. So it's a 6x8 opening. So technically you could put a limb in there 6 inches in diameter. Now my tractor is only 19 horsepower at the PTO, which is the bare minimum recommended for that chipper. So I don't chip anything. I've done 3 inches just because, but I generally, keep it 2.5, maybe 3 inches. Anything bigger than that, I chop it up, use it for, a fire pit, or just burn the whole thing. But I don't run anything bigger than 3-inch limbs through that chipper, mainly because the tractor would not like that very much. So, but anyway, yeah, and Kevin's waiting for the chipper video. So if I burned it, I wouldn't be able to make a chipper video. So anyway, let's bring Jack on, and you guys can ask questions, and we'll talk about, the specific job here. But I think you'll really enjoy Jack and listening to him. So we'll bring Jack on right now. Ready or not, Jack, here you come. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good. I was getting a little nervous. I was sweating at 7:02.
Ah, man, I'm on my wife's computer, and I spent about 5 minutes trying to switch the Google email accounts. I'm not too computer savvy, so.
Well, you got here, so I'm really glad for that. Yeah. Great. Have you ever done a live stream before or anything?
No, this is my first.
Awesome.
I've watched a lot of YouTube, but I've never been on it.
Now you're on the other end of the YouTube.
Yeah.
On the camera end. So we didn't actually test this before, but through this interface, you should be able to see comments from viewers. So if you look on the side, you click on those, and you'll be able to scroll up and down. And if you want to give a shout out to anybody, or if you see a particular question that looks interesting, and you say, hey, Bob asked this question, and we can pull it up on the screen, and I'll show you this from Gary, jumping right in there. We're thanking you for your service, and I hope we can talk a little bit about your military service and your background. I really enjoyed that you shared with us on the video about your experience there a little bit, and being in the Marines, and I looked up some of the information you talked about.
Oh, good. So when we went to Afghanistan, we had a lot of media embedded with us. We had NPR. A lot of us talked to NPR a bunch, and then we had a couple documentaries were made. One's called Hell and Back Again. It follows a Marine in 2-8 Echo Company through his deployment, and when he comes back home, and how he's dealing with PTSD and stuff like that. But it's a really good watch. Hell and Back Again. There's probably a bunch of movies called that. It's the one about a Marine in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's interesting. And that was, did you say it was 2013?
No, 2009.
2009.
Yeah, okay. We went to Helmand Province. In the middle of Helmand. I couldn't tell you where.
Okay. I couldn't tell you anything. Yeah. My geography stinks. I'm pretty good with the United States, but beyond that, forget it. World geography, I'm not good with at all. So thank you for that. And maybe some questions will come up about that as well. A little pun there from John Ritter. Jack.
If you wonder what I'm petting, here's my puppy. She's a year. She's a year and a couple months.
Nice. Is that a Rottweiler?
Yep. That's my baby.
Very nice.
Yeah.
They're so nice, but they're good at scaring people, right?
Right. And I was always scared. And I wanted a dog. I got little kids. I got a 1-year-old and 2-year-old. And I needed a dog that was good for little kids. And the Rottweiler kept coming up. Every time I researched it, Rottweiler would top of the list. So we love her. She's been good. And
Have you had her since a pup? She's a year now.
Yeah, yeah. I got her at 2 months old, and I had to. I was doing tree work, and I had to take her on the job with me every day. My wife, my kids were babies then, and my wife, it was a lot on my wife, so I took her everywhere with me for like maybe 6 months till she was just too big to get in and out of the truck.
Yeah.
But no, she's sweet. She's sweet.
I had we had a Saint Bernard.
Oh yeah.
That topped out at like 204 pounds.
Wow.
Maybe 208 pounds.
God, it's like you walking around. That's like a man. That's a man.
He outweighed me at the time. But that was just so much dog. And one time I had to bring him from. I take a 3-hour drive. I had to bring him, and my wife was supposed to leave the station wagon for me, but she forgot, and she took the station wagon. So I only had the pickup truck, which was just not a dual cab or anything. So the poor dog was sitting on the front seat, and he had his paws on the floor, and it was a 3-hour drive, but he held up just fine.
Oh.
So.
I see the comments now. I was in the private chat. I just switched over to the comments.
There you go. Okay, yeah, the private chat. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
That's just between you and me, and I didn't type anything in there. So yeah, there you go. That's good that you can see that.
What was it like the first? Okay, so here's a question.
Who's asking that so I can find it?
Yeah, Kevin Brewer asked, "What was it like the first time you climbed a tree or cut down?" God, the first time. So I didn't cut anything. A bunch of guys at work put a rope in the tree and made all the new guys put the saddle on and climb up it. It was like a respect thing. That was like the first time I was up in a tree on ropes and stuff like that. So
now, you are really an acrobat.
It's great.
Anybody who does this, I mean, it's.
I'm 6'2", 250. You know what I mean? I'm a big guy, and it's fun to get out there and you don't feel weightless, but it's fun to get out there and swing around.
Well, I mean, have you always been like that, like not having a fear of heights or?
No,
as a kid, I would like to climb trees like a lot of young kids do. But what you're doing is, you're just so comfortable up there, and not only are you climbing with the ropes and balancing yourself, but you're running the saw with one hand, and it's just the balance to me is really tough.
It is balance. Yeah, it is balance, and
not to mention when you cut a big limb and then the limb you're on it starts bouncing up and down. I'd be like, holy smokes.
That's all compensated. That all gets compensated. It's a real quick math problem in my head. Is this going to work? Is that going to work? Okay. Yeah. How much is this weigh? What's this going to do? How far am I going to drop? It's all, I'm thinking about it all.
So here's a good question from John about how you got started in the business at all.
So how I get started, I got out of the military in 2010, and I needed a job, and I was infantry in the military, so I didn't have a trade, that I had learned. I had like weapons training and stuff like that, stuff I couldn't use in the real world. So my buddy, you might even know him, Gunnar Burkholz. He is,
I don't know him, but I know the name, of course.
Yeah, he has Burkholz Tree Experts out in Salem County. He didn't have that at the time. He was working for another guy, and he said, "Oh man, you wanna be my ground guy?" I was like, "I never ran a chainsaw before, but I'll try it."
Wow.
So I started there, and I kind of worked my way up, from there, learning everything I could. So that's how I got started.
So 2010 is that what you said?
Yeah, okay. 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, which is, that's not a long time ago for what you're doing now.
I'm 35 now, so to give you an idea, I was 24.
Okay.
Yeah, we're 24-ish.
How long do you think you can keep this up?
Not long. not long.
I mean, you did tell me your main thing you do is stump grinding now, right? Which is that's on the ground. So that's.
Yeah, so I still I enjoy climbing, but I can't do it. It hurts, and if I was younger, that'd be a different story. But I do it now because I enjoy it, and I'm trying to transition into other stuff that's not so physical, and
Yeah.
might even retire early. I don't know.
That hey, if you can,
Or if I
absolutely,
could, yeah.
absolutely do it. We talked about how often you sharpen chainsaws, and you told me the other day when you were here, and you worked. What was that? It was probably a 10-hour day you were here,
And it was dirty.
and
Dirty
you said
muddy,
you didn't have to sharpen anything that day.
No, I didn't. And I actually I used them today, and I just sharpened them. But they were a little dull at the end, and but it just wasn't worth sitting down. And I think there was a question I glanced at. How do you sharpen it?
Yep.
I use a hand file, round hand file for the tooth, and a flat file for the raker.
And you just eye it up. You don't. I've got one of those steel sharpeners all in one where you go
Yeah,
across,
those are
which is
nice.
Kind of nice, but
Those are very nice. Yeah, I've had those, but just eye it up real quick, throw edge on it,
right.
keep on cutting.
It's all about experience. Well, we have a lot of people who watch the channel who cut firewood, split firewood. So I think a lot of people are interested in
the chainsaw aspect of it.
In shall we say arboriculture. Right?
Arboriculture.
You're an arborist, and that comes from the Latin word arbor, which not surprisingly means tree. But I was surprised researching a little bit. There's the term arboriculture.
Yes.
You're an arboriculturalist. So
some people, I'm an industrial athlete. That's what.
That's a good one. That's
some
a good
people
one.
like to go by that. But
Now, so you didn't have any formal education in horticulture, arboriculture, any of that?
No, I tried college for a year on the GI Bill when I got out of the military, and that wasn't for me. So I actually
were rattling off, the proper names of the
that's just, I there's so many people in our area. You have to set yourself apart and take that extra step and learn what you're doing, because a lot of guys, they just do it and they don't know why they do it. They just know they do it, so
yeah.
I try to take classes when I try to educate myself as much as I can, as much as my schedule allows. And
you were explaining to me about the silver maple, which I thought was just a swamp maple, and then you were telling me how there were different types of maples.
Yeah.
And can we talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah.
So, is the silver maple the same as a swamp maple, or were they two
So
different?
it's the same thing, but the swamp maple, then the term swamp maple, that's more, I guess, for our area. It's like dialect, maybe it's different,
Okay.
But there is no swamp maple. It's the proper term is the common name is silver maple, and that's because of the leaf on the underside it's a silver tone, and when it flutters in the wind, it looks kind of silvery. I always thought it was maybe the bark silver. I didn't know,
But it's the bottom of the leaf.
Maple. It's the leaf, underside of the leaf.
Interesting. And then I know that we have, I think they're called sugar maples.
Sugar, yeah. So you have a sugar maple, and that's where you get your syrup, your maple syrup from a sugar maple. You tap it, milk it. I don't know. I guess you can milk a tree. People do, but
I've chatted with some of the other YouTube content creators who make maple syrup. In fact, one we had on here was also named Jack from the Mindful Homestead.
Okay.
And Jack's up in New Hampshire, and he taps the maple trees, and they boil down the syrup, and you have to I forget the quantity, but I think
the ratio,
it's like 5 gallons of raw maple to get a bottle or something. Like it's so much. But I always wanted to try it. I think it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know. I haven't really heard of anybody doing it down here. Maybe we don't have. Maybe they just don't run. Maybe the sap doesn't run like it does up north. Because I have a buddy that does it in Syracuse, and outside of Syracuse. So I'm always watching him do it online.
Yeah.
And
there's the ratio from Ross.
100 gallon sap to one. It's 100 to 1. 100 gallon
1.
sap to 1 gallon of syrup.
Oh, 40. Ross was saying 40 to 1. David saying 100 to 1.
Somebody said 10 to 1. Mikey said 10 to 1.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the right answer is then. So mostly sugar maples up in New Hampshire. So.
And then somebody said about the slippery trees. Yeah, it was slippery. They were slimy. Oh, it was nasty. Slime.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We had that a couple surprise rains that day.
Well, even in the morning, it's all dewy. Everything's real dewy. It was just wet from the get-go. And I had all my gear had been wet all week. I was wet every day. It was hot one day.
Yeah.
Raining the day before. I was just putting on wet gear for.
And you probably have to be careful about mildew on the north side of the trees, I guess. I mean, that side of the house always gets green and slippery.
Yeah, there was moss. Yeah, there was moss and stuff on there.
So, John's asking you if you want to share about any accidents. I guess you've had at any structures.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I haven't had any, and I don't plan on having any. But I've never, little stuff. But I've never had a major
like a steel blower.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So there's been mishaps with property, but
no houses or anything like that.
Yeah, but there's never been any bodily harm to myself or guys I've been working with. I thought he was talking about that, but I've messed some stuff up with some tree branches.
All right,
but it's a learning experience, and I cover insurance and I pay for everything I break. So.
Yeah.
It happens.
That's
you're not dropping pillows.
I actually want to show a little clip here because there was one shot where I really thought that this thing was heading toward the house.
Oh yeah, I was watching that one. Yeah, and that's all the so that's rope placement on the branch, and that's using the weight of the branch to my advantage, or the weight above the rope or below the rope, how I want it to hang.
And I didn't see the rope. We'll do a little play-by-play here.
I think the rope is probably tied up a little higher than normal, because I want it to be butt end heavy,
right,
or a balance. So it looks like this one might be a balance.
Yeah. So as this came down, I just happened to be watching it, and I just thought, there it goes, and then it like all of a sudden. It just stopped. Like, oh,
that was amazing.
That's butt end heavy. Yeah, that's what
coming down in the house.
Yeah.
So that was
nice,
was great. Anyway, we had a lot going on that day here, right? With you guys over there, and then Jamie's guys doing the concrete. It was a lot happening, but it was all good. So anyway, that one that I saw was like, oh my gosh. Let's see. Nope, still talking about the ratios here, a lot of folks. Brutal Bob running 40 to 55 to 1. Okay. Yeah, so I've seen a few that say like 40 to 1. Kevin's saying 60 to 1.
It might be area dependent too. I don't think every tree's the same, so
right.
Different sap. More, area. One area might have a lot more sap than another area. Rainfall and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Birch sap. Oof.
Huh. I didn't even know you could make anything out of that. Birch sap you can make syrup out of that, I guess. So, I say syrup. Some people say syrup.
Yeah.
All depends on where we're from. So, now, this was interesting to me, Jack, too, is that when you would tie off those trees, now, again, climbing up the tree would be just a chore for me in itself. And then tying off the tree, like you're thinking ahead, like how much does this limb weigh? Where do I tie it so that when it falls, it's going to swing the right way?
And I don't, about the limb weight, I don't want to break out the point above me that rope is through the crotch, so is everything going to support itself, when this branch is off and just hung up by the rope? So, there's a lot to consider. And the swing, a couple of them, it was a large swing, so it was you got to compensate for that, how much the branch is going to drop. And we didn't hit your house, but some of them branches, the tips had to come down and just because it's a game of inches. The clearances are incredibly small.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
even the fence, you didn't hit the fence or anything. That was right there too.
Yeah.
So it was
No,
good.
and you probably couldn't see there was so under the tree there was two fences. It was at the corner of a fence. So it was like a 90-degree fence and the tree sitting right in the middle. So underneath me, front setting back, you're like, oh man, just drop this big over here, drop that over there. It does. I wish it was like that, but a lot of that stuff was roped off.
Yeah, Chris was commenting that now I was live streaming at the time too, and people could kind of watch in real time as the tree came down. And he was saying that the camera actually shook when the big limbs hit the ground, and that's true. At some point I was in the house doing some other work, and there were a couple times where I thought, did that hit the house? But it was actually just the ground shaking.
Yeah, shaking. Yeah.
So it was a lot. And John's asked another question about how many chainsaws you own. Thank you, John. By the way, John's a teacher, so he's got good questions. He's a good
okay.
He's a good student too.
Yeah, I don't own a lot of them. I might own 3 or 4.
How about that?
But I try to own different one. I try to be versatile. So I own a small one. I own a medium-sized one. I own a very large one.
Now, what's the one you had up there with you? Like that was
so that's a top handle. That's a still 201 TC top handle. It's a climbing saw. It's made, it's made for that, to take up in the tree and be compact. And
what size bar would that one have?
That's a 14-inch, but a lot of guys run 16 inches. Okay. My next one, I might buy a 16-inch.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed, but you were cutting that one limb with your left hand, the one that I got on camera. But
you got to be able to use both hands. If you can only use right hand, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
Tree cutting.
Mikey's asking what the biggest tree is that you've taken down. Do you have any memories of it? Particularly challenging or
it's not. I've been in big trees. I've taken the big trees down. It's not necessarily the biggest tree. It's maybe the most difficult tree. But the biggest one diameter-wise was a big poplar in Pennsville, New Jersey. I did that in the wintertime a couple of years ago. That was really big. And then another huge poplar, but it was really difficult. It was on a house on a creek. We got a lot of creeks around here, so they build these houses right on the creek, and this big poplar is right on the bank. If the house is here, the poplar's like this over the house. All the brushes is right here over the house. It took me 2 days to climb it just to get the brush out. 2 full days working over the house, and then I had to actually rent a 72-foot lift to finish the tree because I just couldn't finish it climbing it. It was the heat of the summer too. It was July.
Oh wow! I noticed you're very methodical. You go out and you're kind of trimming the light branches away to reveal the larger limb, and just all very methodical. Also, I mean, you're up there with hand saws. I felt like you were almost like in the jungle. You were just climbing up there, cutting limbs.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
It's a good career if anybody's looking for a career. It's a good career. It's hard.
I was going to say, if you're willing to work hard.
If you're willing to work hard, you can. Yeah. You'll be fine. But any electric saw in the tree? Nah. A lot. That's a good question too, because that's like the next popular thing is the electric saws.
I've seen some of those at least online.
Powered. Yeah, I don't have any yet. I'm sure I'll probably have one in the future, but not right now. I like the gas powered too much.
The technology is getting there, I guess. It's growing. Dennis was asking about any specific species that are more difficult than others. I mean, do you have?
Yeah, so of course. So different wood breaks different. It cuts different. It feels different. Some wood's heavier than others. So some of the trees that are harder to the shape of the tree. So some trees are more trunk, straight up and down with the branches. Some trees are branch out into a big canopy. So there's all different trees, but generally the easiest would be like a nice big spread out tree with nothing under it. That's the best. That's the best tree. Yeah. The hardest one is the tree with the wires running through it.
Yeah.
next to the house, next to the pool. Florida, you got glass building
yeah,
over
yeah,
your
yeah.
pool. So I mean,
But
that's
no particular species.
so.
Like, is an oak more difficult than? I mean, pines are softwood, oaks are hardwood.
So species wise, any softer wood, and it doesn't necessarily have to be pine because pines are nice to cut and climb, but like a poplar, that breaks real easy, especially in the wintertime. That froze in, they'll snap real good. The ash, there's another question about the ash population. Ashes are super dangerous, they're real brittle. Norway maples, a lot of maples are good. They hold real good, they hinge real good when you cut them. Norway maple, trash. It'll break. It doesn't hold good. So there's a couple. There's like 4 or 5 species that are on the more difficult side. You definitely want to double check everything. But like a big oak, I can tie in. I can put my climbing line on like an oak sucker like this, and I know I'm good. But if I did that in a Norway maple, I'd break it as soon as I put some weight onto it.
Interesting.
So the oaks are definitely, good.
I did notice how you would cut the limb, but you wouldn't cut all the way through. At the end, you would actually knock it off. So
right.
You have to cut just enough to leave enough for you to put your saw down and break it off by hand.
So that's that's a snap cut, and there's different cuts for different situations. So I'm not using the same cut every time. Different cuts make the wood do something different. So that snap cut at the end. So I needed both my hands to, I think there was a fence probably right under me to control the piece and break it off. So you put one cut in here, one cut in over top, and then all you got to do is just break it a little bit and the piece is good. But that wood in the middle is just enough to hold the piece up, that you can set your saw away. You can get in position. You can adjust your ropes. You can push it off in the direction that you want. So that's a snap cut.
Okay, interesting. And I don't know the answer to this. 2 to 3 feet for a poplar sounds pretty big diameter to me. I don't know what.
No, these are 4 or 5 foot diameter poplars. Really? 2, 3 foot. That's a little. Wow. Yeah, it's a little tree. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
there you go, John. You got little poplars there in Minnesota.
Yeah, maybe they just don't do good. Where you're at, whatever the what's it called, the hardy zone. Maybe the temperature zones. I think, what are we in New Jersey? Zone 7 or something.
I don't know. All I know is that John makes videos. He's got a great channel, by the way, that you should check out. Yeah, and he's done videos where I believe it's 30 below zero up there, and it's crazy. John Ritter from A Ritter Bit Will Do was my very first live stream guest.
Oh wow!
I like to bring up that fun fact once in a while.
So, and then he has any opinion on echo saws. I have a couple echo saws. They're okay. They're definitely cheaper. That in comparison, that still top handle that I had is around $700. That Echo top handle, that's a comparable size, and I own that one, the 355T. That was like $300 and something. So definitely for the money, it's a great saw. I just had problems with it. I had with the carburetor, having to keep adjusting it, and I don't know. I can't adjust the carburetor, so I have to take it into the shop and all that. I'm sure there's a YouTube channel that I can watch while adjusting carburetors. But I like it. Echo saws rip, and then they're Japanese. Japanese stuff is super good quality. And then the ash, real quick, how's the ash population? It's not doing very good. You can tell they're on the decline. There are some big ashes left, but they're definitely getting hit hard.
So ash as a species is on the decline?
Yeah, Fraxinus americana, Fraxinus pennsylviticum.
Is that a disease?
No, that's the ash. That's the actual name of the ash trees that are getting. It's a bug. It's the emerald ash borer, EAB.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bug that's eating up all the ash trees.
Interesting. So they're kind of an endangered species of tree.
Yep.
Are we doing anything about it?
There's a treatment for it. You can treat. A lot of people don't, but a lot of people don't even know they have an ash tree in their yard. I got called out.
I don't know if I know what an ash tree is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I got called out the other day. This couple wanted me to Deadwoods their trees. I said, I hate to give you some bad news, but this is an ash tree, and you're gonna have a lot more Deadwood soon. So either treat it or take it down.
Wow. Yeah. David's saying that ash borer just hit New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's bad.
Interesting.
Michigan lost them all 10 years ago.
So you said you can treat them yourself, but is there nothing being done like statewide or?
So, no, I don't think so. It's all private stuff.
Okay.
So you call in your local arborist to get some plant health care, done to your trees. Right. But they kill trees so fast. 1 year you're like, oh, that's got a couple dead branches on it. Next year it's totally dead. So I don't, I'd like to see more treatment, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Now Ross is up in Canada. They're cutting all the ash trees down. Are they doing that to control the
maybe
the bug or the?
Maybe they already got them. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Poconos.
Yeah. Pennsylvania got hit real hard.
That? I didn't know any of that. That's all news to me and very interesting.
Buck and Billy Ray, yeah, he's a good. I like Buck. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's in Canada. I think he's on the western coast. Yeah, monster trees where he's at.
Okay, I see Emery. Hey, Emery, you made it. That's good to see you. I don't know what a tamarack tree is. Do you know what that is, Jack?
What is it?
A tamarack
tree? No, tamarack tree? No, I never heard of it. That we might. I don't know where's
Minnesota. He's up in Minnesota.
Nah, it just might be that area. I don't think we have any around here.
Interesting. There was a question, and we answered this on the video actually. 6D was asking about Husky or Steel, and I was joking with you on the video that this is a big debate, and you answered it on the video. You basically said that they're both great saws, and you really didn't have a firm opinion.
So to get more in detail, from my experiences, I've worked at companies that they only ran Huskies, Husqvarna. I worked at companies that they only ran Still. A lot of people, they pick the brand that has the best dealer support in the area. So I might like Still saws, but if I can't get it fixed or if I can't buy one, I have to, I only have Husky around me, then I'm probably going to run Husky. But yeah, a lot of places have both. So you have the option. We have both here. So Husqvarna makes a really good, bigger saw, man, top notch. You can't get better than like the 372 or the 395 or, they got a couple nice ones. And then, Still, they tend to make a better top handle saw, the 201, the 200T, that's an older one. So that's generally been my experience. But, if you're skilled, you should be able to pick up any saw and use it,
Right. That's true. It's like a musician. They could pick up a cheap guitar and make it sound beautiful, or play a great tune with it.
Yeah.
So, and I've got the 455 Rancher, which
yeah.
I guess is really just kind of a homeowner's type.
So the Rancher, there's 3 grades of chainsaws, and I could be wrong. So don't take my
disclaimer
advice verbatim. I just want to put a disclaimer out there. But the 455, there's 3 grades of chainsaws. There's the homeowner, there's the farm, and then there's the professional. So the farm use, which is what you have, Ed, that's more of the middle ground. It's not so much the homeowner, but it doesn't have all the metal parts as, say, the commercial grade. The homeowner has more plastic in it, and the commercial has more metal in it. Stuff's heavier, it's built a little better. So the farm use is the 455 Rancher, which is very good too. I've worked at it.
That's all starts up every time. It's reliable. I had a 450, and this is funny. The plastic came in handy. because one of my videos I talked about it. I had a 450 saw, and I stuck it in the back of my wood chipper to just move my chipper, and I forgot that it was in there, and I started the chipper. Yeah, and it was back end first, and I ate up the whole handle and everything. And had orange chips blowing out of the chipper, and I was like, oh my God. So
no, that happens, and that's common. Don't feel bad, and that's
right.
You know,
I felt terrible.
We store stuff in the chipper chutes all the time, and I always tell the guys, you know, if you're going to store stuff, just make it a habit. Open the chute up. Make sure everything's open before you turn it on. You know?
Yeah. Oh, so. It was my first use of the chipper. I had just gotten the chipper, so I was excited, and I only moved like a couple hundred feet. I was like, let me throw the saw in here, go to the next pile. Just that quick. I forgot that it was in there. So there was a question about golden willow trees here from Margaret.
Golden willows, yeah.
Do they have short lives, or do you know the lifespan of a golden willow?
I think it's a golden weeping willow is what she's referring to. Willow? I think they're shorter. I think they're fast growing, and I think they're a little shorter. I would say maybe 60, 70 years, maybe tops. Okay. I've never really seen a really huge one. So,
okay.
You know, an oak, you know, you get a couple hundred years, but.
And you know Margaret. You've done work. You've done work for Margaret and her husband.
Oh, okay. Hello, Margaret. Oh, is that the big guy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yep. Right around the corner there.
Yeah.
So let me go back.
A pilot? Is her husband a pilot?
Works in the aviation.
Okay. Something with, I remember there's something with planes. So.
Yep. There you go. Here's an answer about, if I'm even saying it right, but that tamarack.
So I think okay. It's 6D outdoors. He cleared it up. Get out of my head, 6D. So what he's talking about is a larch. It loses its pine needles in the it's a type of evergreen. It's a deciduous evergreen, and it loses its needles in the wintertime. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not an evergreen. It's a deciduous conifer. I'm sorry. Deciduous conifer.
All
larch.
Right. You're speaking words I don't understand, Jack. All these big words.
Yeah. And then how many employees? I don't have any employees. I'm a one-man band.
There you go. That's good. That's good.
I just, try to get help when I can, but it's hard to find people.
All right. Margaret wants you to stop by then. You can come look at her weeping willow. If you're back in the area,
no problem.
Stop by and check that out. So,
okay, no problem.
I don't even know what this is here from B Hall about the tamaracks. Add the color. I don't know what that means.
I can't even read that.
Yeah. So I'm just going to see if we missed any other comments here. And I really appreciate that folks are chiming in and being so interactive. It's really great, and just fascinating what you do. Now you don't split and sell firewood or anything like that, right?
Nah, I did that in the past, and it's too much work. I'd rather have the time off in the winter than split. So if I had a nice processor or something, that'd be one thing, but. I always wanted to get a sawmill instead of a wood splitter, for my, for the wood. I always wanted to mill it out and not turn it into firewood. So,
right.
So I might buy a mill, one of these years and do that instead of firewood.
Yeah. And as you know, you left some nice 10-foot logs for me. I've got a neighbor with a mill, and we're going to bring a couple over there, and he's going to mill it for us, and that'll be neat to see. So, I'll be excited to see that. I know you promoted your business on the video. If we want to talk about it here, Linda's asking what your tree service is called, and Linda, he is local.
Yeah, so it's Oakwood Services Incorporated, and I mainly grind stumps, but I take on little tree jobs.
Little tree jobs. Come on,
stuff I can do. Nothing too crazy. So, if you want to.
Yeah. Did you go out of your way to do this for me? Was this bigger than what you normally take on, or is that?
If I had to take the stuff away, I might have been there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But if that was the deciding factor. But no, I wouldn't say I went out of my way, but it definitely helped.
Right.
I was able to get in and out one day. That was good. So.
John, I agree with John Ritter on this. You should start your own YouTube channel, Jack. You could just get up there and get a GoPro when you're up there working, and
there's people already doing it, and they're doing it good. So if you really want to get into it, Augustunnicutt, he has a monkey beaver brand. Look him up on YouTube. Traver Ahern, if I'm saying it right, he's another good climber in Florida from YouTube. So there's a couple good guys on YouTube.
Hey, let me tell you though, if you have any interest at all, there is room for more. There's always room. Believe me. I mean, YouTube is an amazing place. My channel is relatively new and it's relatively small in comparison to a lot of channels, but it's growing. And I'm amazed that I find channels with like 1 million subscribers that I didn't even know existed. There's so many out there, and you'll come up with a channel and it'll be like, how did I not even know that this was out there? Honestly, you could, if you had any interest at all, don't hold back, because you have a nice personality, and I think you'd be great on there. So that was a good point, John.
I don't want to get famous. I'm pretty low key. I don't need my face out there.
So, David's saying not many people do firewood anymore.
No.
I noticed with a lot of the firewood channels, and there are quite a few firewood channels out on YouTube. A lot of people are going with the small bundled firewood because you can make more, per whatever the net or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's it might be a little bit of an investment at first because there's special machinery. You want to do it fast. There's firewood bundlers you can buy and stuff like that. So that's a good gig. Yeah, kindling or like the 7-Eleven firewood bundle.
Yeah, where you sell like the $6 bundle. Yeah. You're getting $1 a piece for the wood.
But I think some of that stuff because it is firewood, I think it's like it has to be USDA graded or kiln dried, or there's a catch. It's not as easy as just finding some wood, splitting it up and selling it. There's some hoops you got to jump through with the environmental stuff.
That's true. That makes sense. Unless you're selling it just completely locally. And,
right. Yeah, you don't want to be spreading pest and disease and stuff like that.
So is this referring to somebody you mentioned, August?
Yeah, August. Yeah, he is in Grants Pass, Oregon, and he has a YouTube channel. Oh man, I've learned so much just watching.
Well, that's like logger country out there, right?
Yeah, but he's a residential climber. Yeah, he's a great guy to watch.
What's his channel, or it's just?
I'm not sure. Augustunnicutt.
Oh, there's the baby.
And Monkey Beaver. He's if you type in Monkey Beaver, he'll pop up on your Google bar. So that's his brand. He makes I have a saddle. That's the climbing harness that I have. It's the Monkey Beaver.
Oh, interesting.
Climb like a monkey and you cut wood like a beaver.
Yeah, somebody referred to you as a tree monkey or earlier or something. That's I guess a lot of that again comes to just confidence. That maybe you get a little more used to it. I mean, because if I'm standing, I work on some commercial buildings, not building them, but I go up on the roof of commercial buildings sometimes, and you just get close to the edge. I get a little bit queasy, and then if the wind shifts, but again, you're anticipating that the limb is going to shift.
The wind. So that's another thing. You're up there and the wind starts blowing and you're like this and you're looking down and you get dizzy and your equilibrium gets off, but it's a comfort thing. You just have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable up there. You have to be comfortable with your gear. You have to trust your gear, and you just have to be comfortable with all aspects of what could happen.
Right. Right.
when you're in the tree.
Now I don't even know if you watched the video that we did yet, but I
I
wonder
did.
if you
Yeah, I watched
I
it.
wonder if you were happy with the shots, and
That was good. Yeah,
it was fun getting some of those drone shots, and just really neat to see you working up there. Before we go, Jack, we're going to wrap this up shortly.
Yeah.
But something I do every Monday night on the live stream is we pick a winner and give away. I mail out some of these stickers, and I know I'd given some to you when you left. So, but for the viewers, we have them enter to win stickers, and then I send them out. So I do want to do that before we take off here. Hey, Mitch from MJ Doing Stuff, you made it just in time for us to wrap up the show. But and Tractor Man 44.
He's a Marine, yeah.
Yeah, now that's a fun channel. I would recommend you check that one out. I didn't know that about you, Tractor Man, and but what a neat channel. You know, he does a lot of different projects. I love the one that you did with what was it called? But he was cleaning the inside of an old gas tank with electrostatic or really interesting though, and just has such a nice way about him. So anyway, that's a good channel to check out. I have to click on I wasn't prepared, so bear with me just a second, and I need to bring up the picker for this. So if you see any questions, feel free to talk about them, Jack, because I need to click off the screen here for just a moment.
Yeah, somebody put up the August channel. They found that. Trevor Ahern, he's in Florida. He's got some good climbing clips. If anyone's on Instagram, they can look up Rion Rounds. Man, that guy he's top notch. He's in Wisconsin. I'd like to work with him for like a week. Yeah, it's like a bucket list thing. And then those are like my top fave.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's fun. So do you watch a lot of those channels then with the type? I'm sure you do. Like it, and like you said, you can learn so much.
Yeah, and that's what you just pick up on different little tips and tricks that they're doing that you can learn and add to your toolbox. So
yeah, that's what we do. With the channels that I have, we talk about the compact tractors a lot, and we all learn from each other. So, let's see here. Okay, I've got the screen up. So what we do now to give away these stickers, and I have to give the disclaimer here that if you've won in the past, that I ask you not to participate. We want to give everybody a chance to win. So if you won the stickers in the past, do not participate. And I'm going to have folks enter a word in, and then the comment picker is going to pick from that word, and one person will win. Doesn't matter if they enter one time or 10 times, because only the first time or only one time is going to count. And there's a word you got to type in. Let me pull this up here. Where are we? Yeah, so type in the word arboriculture. No, I'm kidding. Not that word. That's too long of a word. You're just going to type in the word
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Hashtag summer. Lowercase, and we'll let people start to enter these words in, and then we'll draw randomly.
Somebody asked about the Grapple. That's
we didn't even have time to talk about that machine. It was a great machine.
Yeah, so the Grapple's a branch manager Grapple. I think it costs like $3,500.
Wow.
I think it's a little on the expensive.
And that machine was Bobcat MT85.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So I think my machine's maybe a year old. They have a new one out. They don't even make the 85 anymore. They have an MT100. So that might be mine now. I might have to trade that one in and get the 100. But no, it's
what's different about it? What's better about it?
Probably nothing. It's probably the same thing. They just put a $5,000 more price tag on it and called it a 100. But I think it picks up a little more.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet.
I was so impressed by the footprint of that machine is so small.
Yeah.
And then you would pick up these logs lengthwise. So that must be one heavy machine to be able to counterbalance or counterweight.
Oh, it weighs more than a car. you wouldn't even think about it, you know, but it's all heavy duty metal. It's like a 3,000-pound machine, 3,500-pound machine.
And it's so small. I mean, it's smaller than my compact tractor.
Yeah, tiny. And it comes with all kinds of attachments, auger, jackhammer. I mean, you name it, they have it. Brush hog for it. It's a good little machine.
Yeah, and again, it takes skill to run it, but it was really interesting. A lot of people commented they liked the little segment we did about the machine.
No, yeah, it is a skill to be able to use that fast and efficient, and especially combine that with the grapple and the way the grapple works. You can really do a lot. And then when you throw a chipper in, you know, you could grab a bunch of brush with the grapple and feed it right into the chipper. You know, it's such a good machine. It really, you know, the employee question, you know, I got 3 employees because I got a Bobcat MT85. Those are my 3 employees.
Yeah. The best kind.
Yeah, they're quiet. They don't talk. Right. They don't complain.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy them lunch, nothing.
That's right. So we've got 20 entries now. I'm going to give people another moment to enter #summer, and you'll get a chance to win. Now, when the random comment picker picks the winner, what I'll do is have you email me your name, your mailing address, and let me know that you won the stickers, and I'll send them out to you. I do ask that I should have said this earlier, but for folks in the United States and Canada, otherwise I don't know how to mail stuff around the world. So hopefully whoever wins is U.S. or Canada. I should have mentioned that before. Anyway, we've got 20 entries. Does anybody want to enter? One more chance here for anybody, and then we're going to hit the draw button and pick the winner.
Well, if you want it, you know, around the world, they should mail you like a self-addressed, you know,
yeah,
stamped envelope, and then you could just send that back.
That's true. Maybe I need to have that disclaimer. Like, if you want to win from somewhere else, then you mail me that. That's a good point.
Right.
But most of our viewers are U.S. and Canada. So, all right, I'm going to hit the draw button here. I don't have my sound effects going tonight, so we'll just see what the picker picks. Who's the winner going to be? This is always a lot of fun. We're waiting for. Let's see if he wins. Ray Bolden, congratulations, Ray. We've been waiting for John Ritter to win. The poor guy's been entering every week and saying he wants to win. Folks have said, "Look, give my stickers to John," and he says, "No, I want to win fair and square. He won't take them. No charity stickers for John." So, but Ray, congratulations, you won the stickers. What I'm going to have you do, Ray, is email me at this mailing address. Contact mcgtv@gmail.com and shoot me an email, Ray, and let me know that you won. Give me your mailing address. I'll pop these in the mail to you. Really appreciate it. Congratulations, Ray. Email address again, contact mcgtv@gmail.com. If you need to find this email address, you can look at my About section on my YouTube channel page, and the email address can be found there, or you can rewatch this live stream and write it down from there. So let me lose that. Let me lose this. We got Jack and myself back on here. Any final questions from anybody before we take off? Doesn't look like it, so that's great. Anything else from you, Jack, that we didn't talk about? I know these hours always go quickly, and maybe sometime we'll have you back on if you're interested and willing. It'd be great.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm out, man.
All right, listen. Hey, great job on the tree. Really interesting business that you're in, and a lot of fun to watch you do the work. And I know that the viewers really appreciated hearing from you tonight. It was kind of neat to see the video of you working and then get to meet you tonight too. So that really means a lot. One final question from memory about the concrete. I did not get it brushed. I got it troweled super clean so I can sweep it easily. I know there was one question that said, aren't you afraid of slipping if it gets wet? I'm not really planning on doing too much in there that's going to get wet, but no, I wanted it nice and clean so I can broom it. I can blow it off with the blower and whatnot. So anyway, thanks very much for that. Jack, again, really appreciate it. It was great talking with you, and I hope we can do this again sometime. And thank you again for your service in the Marines. That means a lot, and a lot of folks out there can relate, and they were fellow service members. So thank you so much for that, especially on this 4th of July weekend. So
Good.
all right.
That was fun, yeah.
Thanks very much. We'll see you next time. Thanks so
All
much.
right. See ya. Thanks.